feet.
Holy crap.
Okay, can
Under
you
my feet. What?
Okay,
That's amazing.
it is
I
illegal.
didn't know you
It is illegal for this girl to have so much talent and look like that.
Yeah.
It is illegal. It's not fair. Okay.
Why are you on our show?
Please.
You asked and you seemed
Yeah,
chill, So I
seriously.
was like, sure, why not?
Thank you though, for real. That's awesome. Might have to make you do a live performance on show.
Oh, come on.
just
Get
do
me
all
a
kinds.
break.
I don't care.
No, don't do
I'm
that.
performing at TwitchCon.
Oh, really?
Really?
God
That's
damn.
insane. Damn, man. Like, well, I can tell you, when talent has talent, it's going to shine through no matter what,
I wasn't expecting to have this much content on this episode, to be honest with you. I gotta write it all.
You were like, she's blonde. Can't be that much. Can't be that much.
Yeah, I
Well,
was
technically-
totally stereotypically judging you.
Well, technically, she's not blonde. Typically, she's blonde with pink highlights, but, just saying. But I tell you, man, it's looks like it's going to be a hell of a show, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, whenever you guys want to start this out.
Jeff, whenever you're ready, man. Just let Marlon know.
I'm ready when you are. Welcome to the most must-listen to show on the internet. Welcome to AEG. I am your host, JB, and this week I have Dalton with me.
What's up, everybody?
I have Marlon.
Live from Miami, dealing with stupid Dorian. Hi, everybody. So, what can I tell you?
And our very special guest, Jaded Mermaid.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Hello there.
We're doing good.
Right,
We're all doing
good.
good.
No
That was
I'm
good.
okay.
We
Good
burned up all of
energy.
our enthusiasm talking before the show.
Right? And Marlon's
I
just
know.
down there trying
I
to
know. What the
survive,
hell's
saying,
wrong with us?
saying that the hurricane's not coming, but he's just in denial.
It's,
Well, considering it's like stalled over the Bahamas, like
dude, let me
Yeah.
tell you something about this stupid Dorian. It's when we saw it coming, and I thought, okay, it's gonna be sailing to the Bahamas. It's okay. A 1 mile per hour.
1 mile
Just
per
basically, it's just walking there. It's just literally just, you know what? I'm gonna have a vacation to the Bahamas. I'm gonna plop myself right here, and I'm just gonna make sure everybody just sees that I'm just having fun right now in the Bahamas, just taking a cocktail.
Yeah,
I'm like,
literally when I go on a walk. Literally when I go on a walk, I go at 3 miles an hour. So I'm going 3 times as fast as
It's
Hurricane
a
Dorian.
Category 5. Lord. Taking a leisure stroll down the beach, I'll tell you that.
We're already off the rails in this episode. So
It's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we roll.
That's just how we do it.
But anyways, tonight's episode is going to be focused on our special guest, Jaded Mermaid. Kind of again getting into like how she got into streaming, how she's a sponsor now, how she gets sponsored, some of her favorites, maybe favorite gaming system, stuff like that, and then a little bit more about her and what she does and what she streams and etc. etc. So, tell us, how did you get into streaming?
All right. Going right in. Got it. Jumping in.
Yes.
Okay. So I actually,
Oh.
so I'm 25. I started streaming at the end of my undergrad degree. So who played Destiny 1? Any of you?
All of us.
Yes!
All of us.
My
all of us.
family.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and tell you that's probably like my all-time favorite game because it got me into, well, on console, all-time favorite game overall, gotta be Mario Brothers, man. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa.
All right.
Just keep
All
going.
right, we're on the clock.
Hurry up! No.
No, I got into streaming because, do y'all remember for Destiny 1, there was a Twitch emblem that came out. And if you streamed a certain amount of hours, you got the Twitch emblem for your character. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all know about
Yep.
that? Okay,
No.
that is why
Yeah.
I started streaming. So thank Bungie, okay? Say thank you to Bungie. That's
Bungie
why
is
I'm
the
here
reason
today.
we
All their
have Jaded
fault.
Mermaid.
Yeah, it really is. And actually, it really is because I didn't have a console. My husband had a console, and he had an Xbox, and he started playing Destiny 1. I was like, oh my god, that looks so cool. And so then I'd come home from work, and I'd play, and then he'd want to play, and I was like, no, I'm not done yet. I have another mission, or whatever, you know. So it's like, all right, this isn't working anymore. So I got my own, and I started streaming, and I accidentally got affiliated on Twitch. Yes, you heard me, accidentally. I didn't know there was like a monetization program. I was a complete Twitch noob. I just wanted the emblem, man. And I checked my email like a year later, and it's like, oh, welcome to the affiliate program. And I was like, what is this? And so then I had some friends that I told them, they were like, oh my God, get a face cam, try it for real. And I was like, well, it's entertainment. I've been a musician since I was 8. I've been performing since I was 9. So I love entertainment. I was like, well, why not? We'll give it a shot. And I just fell in love with it. And all of my friends that I play games with come hang out. I meet new friends to game with. So it was all around a great experience. And I absolutely loved it. Enough so that when I got sponsored, which I'll tell you more about that, but when I got sponsored, I quit my teaching job to do this full time. That's how much I love this.
That is awesome, and that's something that like I think
awesome.
Anyone who streams on Twitch or anywhere, that's what they want to do, right? That's their end goal. And like nobody goes into it saying like I hope nobody watches my stuff.
Right.
So that's so awesome that happened for you. And it's even cooler to us, especially I think I can speak for these guys when you did it through Destiny, because we were so into Destiny. We played on the PS4, but
oh, okay. I have
yeah.
the PS4 now as well, so we'll have to all add each other and play sometime.
Absolutely.
I have both.
Sounds good.
My sponsor was like, if you're going to be a pro gamer, a pro streamer, you got to have both consoles. I was like, all right, got it.
Hopefully they bought it for you then.
Yeah, they did. They sent it. They actually sent me 2. Funny story. He bought me 2. He didn't mean to. Didn't even realize that he had purchased me 2. And I called him and I'm like, yo, Eric, did you mean to get me 2 PS4 Pros? And he was like, no, not really. I was like, okay. So, I sent it back and got him refunded. But yeah, they definitely paid for it.
That is awesome, though. So, do you still play Destiny at all? Like, do you play Destiny 2 at all, or did you kind of like us fall off the map?
Okay.
That's on them.
Y'all are trying to make me cry on this episode.
That's on them.
So I was like a hardcore Trials kid. So, like, I think I have over 2,000 flawlesses. It's ridiculous. Like, that's all I did was Trials. I would play, like, it was only out for 3 days. I would grind at least 36 hours worth of Trials every weekend. At least.
That is insane. Okay, that's good.
So, well, see, once Destiny 2 dropped, Trials came out, it was okay for, like, the first month, and then and then it really started to hurt my soul even more. And I just had to keep Destiny preserved in my mind as something great, and I had to stop playing it.
Makes sense.
That's kind of, I think that's what we were all.
I do occasionally hop on with some of my like OG friends and play comp, or quick play, but very rarely, because you know how many people still DDoS in Destiny, man? It's ridiculous. Like no one's on that game and you're still DDoSing people. Come on.
That's so awesome. Like we could do a whole episode. I didn't know you played Destiny like that, because we could do a whole episode talking about Destiny 1. We've done it before, so
follow-up episode.
We pretty much have.
We're gonna have to do one. We should totally schedule that for the future, because I think we all have a passion.
Like just like a nostalgia trip episode. Just all talk about Destiny.
Are y'all gonna play the new DLC that's coming out? Is it Shadowkeep? Is that what it is?
See that guy right
I'm
there?
on the fence about it.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I have to.
So wait.
Marlon's way on.
Marlon, is it true? Do you know? I don't want to perpetuate rumors or anything, but is it true that everything in your vault is going to be brought up to 750 light with the new DLC?
Yes.
Okay, see, I might play again. It might.
Shit! I didn't know. Okay, I might play it again too.
You don't have to burn the light level, man. You can just
not
play.
Everything that you have in your vault, everything that you weapons, it's gonna be 750, because they're gonna bump up the light level, so you want to just boost everybody up to be able to enjoy Shadowkeep at once. Which is for me, I'm okay with that.
That sounds awesome.
Well, it's honestly the only reason I'm going to get back into Destiny. And see, I divvy up my games in between, depending on what platform I stream on. So, like on Mixer, I do Black Ops 4 primarily. When Gears 5 drops on Friday, I'll be streaming that exclusively to Mixer. And then Twitch gets Fortnite, Apex, and all competitive games. But I've been considering, because the Destiny community still exists on Twitch. It's not huge, but it still exists. I thought about targeting that audience with the new update coming out. And I would actually do that if it meant I didn't have to grind for 50 freaking hours to get my light level up on my Titan. Like hell yeah, I'll play the game at least for a little while.
just ride that wave of just people playing Shadowkeep, which is, to me, honestly, it's fine. If Gustavo was here, he'd be playing. Oh my gosh, he plays Gears 5. He'd be going all bonkers right now.
Oh,
You know that for a
yeah.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah, you said the magic words, and he would have like lost his collective shit.
If Gustavo was on this episode.
And then we've got Modern Warfare coming out on the 19th. Well, the beta anyway. And I'll be playing the beta on Mixer. So I do all COD franchise on Mixer.
September is packed, man. September is absolutely packed.
Mm-hmm. And Borderlands 3 is coming out too.
Yep, that's my big one for September.
We just gave away a copy.
Have you pre-ordered? Have you already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang it.
We just gave away a copy of Borderlands 3.
I'm getting on PS4.
Like, what, 2 days ago, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, we just gave away
it was
the
a couple days ago.
Edition.
So, anybody else that has it pre-ordered, and if you don't have an Epic content creator to support, you can use my code Jaded, and Epic has bumped the because Borderlands is an Epic game, it's awesome, right? Mm-hmm. And they have bumped the creator codes over to game sales as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's another reason and way that I've been able to go full time is by pulling in, taking advantage of any little thing that allows me to monetize. And it doesn't cost my viewers, it doesn't cost my friends any money to use to type in code Jaded. It doesn't cost them anything, but Epic pays me. Little things like that. I also partnered with something called Pixels Gaming. They send me a free game and then they pay me like, you know, a little bit to stream the game for 2 hours, and the devs come in and watch me stream the game. I pretty much test indie games.
Basically, she's a hustler. Basically,
but they pay, cool. Anything you can, get, and it may not be the biggest, but hell, I get a free game, and I get enough to take me and my hubby out to Din Din. And then my main sponsorships. In all honesty, the majority of those went to paying off my stream setup, which totals close to $10,000.
Oh my god! Yeah, it gets expensive.
I've seen pictures of it. It's pretty damn impressive.
It's my dream setup. I spend 8 to 14 hours a day in this room, in this chair, so I've got to love where I'm at, and I've made it kind of my space. I've got the Philips Hue lights too, so like that side's like seafoam green, and then here's like a blue, and then over there's like purple, and I'm just like, yeah, it feels so good.
That was actually kind of leads right into one of the topics I wanted to kind of go talk about with you is I don't think a lot of people realize what goes into full-time streaming, how much time and effort goes into that. Like, you got to get burned out sometimes, right? Like, there's got to be sometimes you're like, man, I don't fucking feel like streaming today. Like, does that ever happen? Or
I have occasional days where I'm like, man, I hope I can be on it today, because I'll wake up and I'll be lagging. I'm saying lagging. I'm obviously a gamer. I'll be, just a little slow getting my stuff together. And I'll be like, dang it, man. I'll worry about not providing good content more than I don't want to stream, because I always want to interact with my community. I love my community. But sometimes it's like, man, I hope I don't let them down, because sometimes I don't feel up to being, what's up, guys? Thank you for that follow. Yeah, yeets all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's
exhausting.
It's kind of, and especially because I stream. So I wake up at about 9:30. I eat some breakfast. I do some Pilates. I play with my dogs for a little while, let them exercise. I'll shower, get ready, and I stream by 11 on Mixer. And then on Mixer, I stream from 11 to either 3 or 4 o'clock. If I get off at 3, I have about an hour break before I do my Camfrog chat. So I do gaming on Mixer and Twitch. I don't do just chatting on Mixer and Twitch. I feel like I like this platforms for gaming. So I do my just chatting on, it's a chatting app is what it is. And they actually pay me to stream. And so like during those 2 hours from like 4 to 6 o'clock, I'll do video edits, I'll do website edits, I'll answer emails, whatever I'm doing. And I'll kind of just chat with them. And I get paid to do that. I'm sponsored to just talk to them, which is awesome. And then at 6 o'clock, I start my Twitch stream. And I stream at least until 10, if not like midnight. So I'm streaming for 4 to 5 hours. Plus 2 hours, plus 4 to 6 hours a day.
See, yeah, and that's what people don't realize. Everyone's like, "Oh, I want to be a full-time gamer. I want to be like." They think you're like living this dream life, which you kind of are, but like in a way, like there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah,
It's a job.
A full-time job.
I work 10 to 14 hours a day, easy.
right.
Yeah.
And then being part of my job, being a social media influencer, right? Like I get people that send me. I'm officially an Instagram model, and I don't know how I feel about that. They're sending me free clothes to wear, and then they pay me for the posts. I'm a paid Instagram model, and like I said, it kind of felt a little weird at first.
I need to get into that.
So, hey, dude, repping gear is like one of the easiest things to do. But now you have to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna build my channel through my social media or whatever." Well, your consistency on any end is key. Social media, live streams, in y'all's case, podcasts, whatever content you're creating. If you go radio silent for 2 weeks, people will forget you.
Yep.
Will forget you. Just like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if, like, for me, I've got 175,000 followers on Camfrog. I've got 3,500 on Twitch. I've got 500 on Mixer. I've got almost 15K on Instagram. I have almost 200,000 followers right now. And I promise you, if I didn't post something for 2 weeks, when I came back, half of them would not engage with any of my content.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Keep going. You got to keep on that wheel.
You
Otherwise,
have to stay relevant. If you don't stay relevant, people will move on to the next person, because there are plenty of people trying to do exactly what you're doing right now and what I'm doing right now.
That's scary. That's scary that it's that simple for something like that to fall apart.
What if you get in a wreck? What if you're hospitalized for 2 weeks?
Right. Like, there's so many, like, life
somehow.
could intervene and you would just not have it. Like
you gotta try to like milk your hospitalization, right? You gotta like take selfies in the hospital bed with your leg up.
For real, like you gotta keep creating content, even if it's like laid up in the bed, like my legs up. you better post something, shit.
That's true. And then like I've caught like quite a few of these streams. Like I try to jump in whenever I can. I don't have a ton of time.
I see you. And I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I was watching some replays on Mixer earlier today, actually.
Oh yeah.
Of you playing Call of Duty, so.
But yeah, I try to get in there and like interact and stuff as much as I can, and you maintain such a high level of energy, and I don't think like I know I don't have what it takes to be a full-time streamer. That's why we're hoping this podcast thing works out. Oh, there you go. That is not cocaine. That is
no, yeah. I guess the people in the podcast can't see anything. It's Power On. This is actually a Miami company. Marlon down there is killing me.
There you go, Marlon.
All right, Marlon. This is a Miami-based company. But anyway, it's vitamin B and 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is the same as a cup of coffee. So this is what I start my day off with.
That's awesome.
Okay, the thing that gets me that is you don't understand. In the gym, that's what they call it. Okay.
It's cocaine. Oh, they call it cocaine.
She doesn't even mix it with water or anything. She just puts it on the
Miami,
table.
Just snort it.
Yeah. Does a line.
What you do before a wow.
Yeah, there you go.
So, oh my god, you have no idea. I was like,
Power On. It doesn't burn going down.
Oh my god.
God.
I'm dead.
Oh Lord, I hate you.
That's awesome. Like we'll definitely like at the end, like if you want, we'll definitely allow you to plug all your sponsors and all that stuff too, so they can
plug away.
You might have just found a good title.
No, that's
being honest with you guys. It's not cocaine. Hashtag it's not cocaine.
Not cocaine.
Or it doesn't burn going down. I like that better.
Them know if they use that slogan, we want a cut of that because that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the cocaine.
Everybody hears it now. Oh.
Okay, it's gone down the rail.
I'm dying.
Yeah. All right. Woo! All right.
So anyway, a lot goes into full-time gaming, and not only are you
a big help for you was how you got sponsored. Tell us how you got sponsored.
Yes. I'm sorry. We're getting there. We're all over the place, guys.
So we're not usually this bad, but we're having a good time.
No.
It's okay. This is fun. That's all that matters, right? Okay, so
right.
my sponsor, my official sponsor, Pro Esports Gaming, the CEO actually found me on Instagram and came into one of my Twitch streams and donated. And I do a thing. I'm also a musician. If I get donos, I'll tend to be like, hey, if you want a song, just let me know. I'll grab my guitar or mandolin and I'll sing a song. And I used to do this a lot more until a lot of people came, because I used to sing for biddies on Twitch, and people would come in and like bits, and I'd be hoarse by the end of the night. So I was like, all right, guys, we got to do this for like donos only now at this point. I'm actually doing like a subathon with it. But anyway, he loved the way that I interacted with the chat, and he was like, oh, you're great. I would like to have, sit down and do a business call with you sometime. And I was like, I checked out the site, looked real legit. I was like, okay, I'll take the call. It was supposed to be like a 15 minute call. I ended up being on the phone with the CEO for like 2 hours. We really hit it off. I loved the ideas that they're moving. The website is still in beta right now, proesportsgaming.com, but a lot of it still already up and working. So I host live lobbies, and it allows me to make money off video games outside of my monthly sponsorship. Like it's kind of like tips and stuff. And then he also has it done so that the streamers on there can get subscriptions without it taking a cut. So like Twitch, when I get a sub, the sub's $5. I only receive $2.50. I receive 50%. Okay. Twitch keeps 50%. On Pro Esports Gaming, I keep 100% of that $5. You come and drop me a $5 sub for that month, I keep all of it. So that just alone, getting some of my subs to move over to Pro Esports Gaming from Twitch helped me, because I'm keeping 100% of my sub. I'm not having to split 50% of it with a streaming platform, which is amazing. And then the live lobby thing, so it's like I can host any game, Destiny. I can do whatever I want. And I can say last man standing or highest kills. So when I do Apex, it's highest damage, because I had people taking my kills after I did like 100 damage into them. They get the last like little bit of shield, and I was like, no, this ain't gonna work. And because you can change it to whatever you want it to be. So I do like highest damage. I also host cash customs every Thursday night on the website, and it's just 25 cents to play. So you fill up just like an arcade card, and you pay 25 cents per game, but winner takes all. So if we've got 20 people, the winner takes away $5 at the end of each game, right? So it allows me to make money through actual games. It's betting. You have to be 18. It is betting. But that has allowed me to make some, as well as tournaments. Like we have some high roller tournaments where it's $50 a player buy-in, and you've got a team of 3, that's $150 per team. You've got a few teams, it adds up really quickly, and it's winner take all. Right. And that also helps. So I actually got into the website specifically because he was like, hey, we need you to use the website. That's what I want you to do. I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. And then I was like, oh crap, I can actually make money off the website in addition to what he's paying me. And so, like I said, paying attention to all the little things, anywhere I can make $50, I'll do it. As long as it's something that I can get behind. I can't tell you how many brands have hit me up trying to get me to promote their stuff, and like they'll send it to me and I'll test it out and it's crap. Well, I'm not going to post that. I've gotten people that wanted to pay me like $200 a month to post their clothing, and it was crap clothing. Like the seams would come out after you washed it once. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, yeah, they offered me money, but at the same time, right. You have to watch out for your brand, because if you start telling people, hey, this is good, trust me, and it's shit, people aren't going to listen to what you have to say, Right. So you do have to be careful. I always pay attention to the details, and some people don't do that, and they end up screwing themselves over in the long run. So a little bit of advice as well,
It's funny that you bring that up, because I think Marlon, Jeff, and Goose and I on the last episode were talking about just that. With if we're gonna sell out, we will sell out. Don't get me wrong, but you got to pay us a lot of money. Like we're not gonna sell out and promote this crap for nothing. Like you said, they were gonna pay you $200 a month. That's nothing. You know what I mean? $200 a month's not enough to ruin your brand, right?
Exactly. Not enough to compromise your integrity. And honestly, let's go back. Like I said, I was a musician. I was offered a $10 million contract by Sony Records when I was 14. and it was a 10-year contract, and I said no because the fine print said that, number one, they could make me dress the way they wanted me to dress, and I didn't want to be some little slut, pretty much. So I was like, no, I'm good. And then they were like, oh, and then when you go to interviews, we can tell you what to not say and what to say. And I'm kind of like, okay, I guess I kind of see where that can be a thing, but. And then the third and final straw was that they could change the lyrics to my songs. And I'm a BMI registered songwriter. My songs are published. You're not changing my songs. You're not touching my songs. And that was a $10 million contract, and that still wasn't worth my integrity. So it really comes down to your personal value as well.
That is amazing. You were like almost Taylor Swift.
That's who I didn't want to be stopping.
Right. That's why I said that. But that's pretty amazing.
Sorry, T Swift. Sorry.
That's pretty amazing, though. I don't know if I have what it takes to turn down $10 million. I don't know if I do. I'd have to see if I
It would have owned me for 10 years, though, and
no.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm not talented. So
when you really think about it,
I gotta take $10 million when it's offered. But that's incredible. Like, we obviously heard a little bit of your singing before the show started, and I was pretty fucking shocked, to be honest with you. Like, not that I didn't think you could sing, but you ever thought about going on American Idol or something like that?
Funny story.
Uh-oh. It almost starts like that, doesn't it? Funny story about that.
So I actually tried out for the X Factor. Y'all know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
And the judges at the end of my audition told me that I had no room to improve, and I did not make it.
Wow.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Now I get
But
it.
you were like, it was so good that they didn't like. There wasn't any.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go
No,
ahead.
like basically they said that. Okay. They said that basically you have nowhere to go. So like the whole point of the show is to make people that are pretty good and make them the best that they can be. You're already hit the best you can be, so there wouldn't be a show basically for you anyway.
Yeah, and I don't say that in like a conceited way at all. Like I just have had professional training. That's really what it comes down to. My vocal coach is the same vocal coach as for Christina Aguilera and a bunch of other people that are amazing. So, I've been professionally trained. I've trained in Nashville. I've performed in front of 5,000 people. I've performed on, y'all probably don't know what it is, but the Louisiana Hayride.
I've heard
really?
of it.
Don't know what that is? Hell yeah. All right. So I play
Okay.
like bluegrass and folk music, and I traveled like the bluegrass circuit when I was younger. So I've been in the game since I was like 10, okay? Like I traveled, I did an international tour. International was Canada and America, okay?
Yeah.
But
Still count.
I did, yeah, when I was 13, and we played like 20 shows in a month. It was nuts. And so I've already been there. I've done newspaper interviews. I've never done a podcast interview though, guys. Y'all have gotten my first ever podcast interview.
I'm pretty excited about
I've
that. It
not
makes us
done
feel
a
pretty good.
podcast.
That's insane.
Go
That is
us.
pretty good.
So,
Oh my
but yeah,
God.
so I've just been around it for a while. I've already, I've had a lot of experience. I've been professionally trained, so it was kind of like, you'll go out there day one and still sound the same day 50 or whatever, So I get it. But I was a little miffed at first, all right? I was like, really? I'm being punished?
That's incredible though. Like I said, you're probably better than we are. 'Cause, like, I don't know if I can't speak for these guys, but I don't know if I could turn down $10 million. But that's impressive. Like, you've obviously got talent, and I guess like the last question I kind of want to ask you on this topic is like, say like you did get offered like a big singing contract, and like would you go that route like now that you got all this other stuff going on for you? Like, would you hang all that up and go sing, or?
I mean, I can do it all.
Hell yeah.
She can do it. That's a hustler for you, brother.
That's the
a hustler
attitude
for
to
you.
have right there.
It's a hustler for you, man.
I
So-
do live performances still, as well as live stream and model. So why not?
That's cool as hell.
So
You
let me
could
ask
tie
you
it all into the
this.
same brand too.
It
I
works,
do.
though.
I
So let me
actually
ask you
created an LLC that lumps all of my creative facets under one thing. So
There,
Very
you
cool.
basically just answered my question.
Yeah.
So let me ask you
I'm
this.
actually a company, Jaded Mermaid and Company. Woo! I'm legit.
Yeah, that was another thing I kind of wanted to go in with you at some point on this
Yes,
episode.
I have
but-
trademarks too. Yes. Yes.
Go ahead,
yes.
Marlon. What did you want to ask?
So, what made you get into the mandolin? Like, that's for me one of the instruments that I go,
Chris Steely. Chris Steely. You know who
really?
he is?
My God, you went for okay, that's fine. It's because I basically was back in high school. I just play a lot of instruments, and for me, there was always this guy playing the mandolin. I'm like, why are you playing that? And he says, I just like it.
I
like
do.
the sound
I
of it.
like it. I have Celtic roots in my like lineage. Obviously, I'm hella white.
No.
I love the mandolin because it's more of a Celtic instrument a lot of the time, and I played something called Celtic Fest that we do here in Mississippi, and it's such a pretty instrument. I love it. I started off on guitar when I was 8, and by the time I was 12, I was like, all right, I want something else. Now I'm teaching myself the ukulele, but you know.
That's awesome.
I can't play the
That's
ukulele.
awesome.
Too big
I
hands.
played
It's funky.
trombone.
It's weird. It's weird. It's because that
I played
that
alto
top note is
saxophone.
weird.
It's
It's in the wrong
like-
place.
Okay, here's the thing for me. I tried the
It's like
ukulele a
banjo,
couple of years
dadgummit.
back. Somebody gave it to me, and I was like, try it out. And I'm like, I feel like a freaking T-Rex with this thing. I'm like, why is this thing like this? No,
Okay,
no,
wait.
I take it.
All right, you need to go look up some like good old bluegrass boys picking on a mandolin because these guys are massive. All right, they are cornbread fed men playing this tiny instrument, and it is hilarious. You know, that's actually one of the reasons I was like, I noticed the mandolin. I was like, oh, it's small like me. I was like, oh, I like that. And that's one of the reasons I genuinely was like, I wanna try that out. And then I loved the way it sounded, so I was like, yes.
Hey,
That's
I'm
awesome.
Yeah, that is.
Can't
Like I
believe
said,
it.
I wasn't expecting to have this many topics tonight. Like I was expecting like to
He
come
was
in here.
freaking out.
We're all
He
over the
was
place.
freaking out. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna? I'm gonna look like an idiot against this.
You really did.
No, y'all are good. Y'all are chill.
Yeah, like I never get nervous for like an episode, but you can ask these guys. I was posting in our Discord. I'm like, guys, I'm nervous for this one. Like I'm gonna botch this whole
Ah, you're
episode.
good.
And
Good.
it's
Rocking it.
yeah, but
Swear to God.
oh my God. So
So anyway,
the pro side of
kinda
things, real
shifting-
quick. Yeah, I want to talk about that a
shifting
little
gears
bit.
back to gaming.
Go ahead, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. I
That's
just
what I
wanted
was
to
saying.
ask you,
You're-
like,
you're-
because you're full time now, so you obviously have your work cut out for you just in that alone. But you're also a pro gamer, so you do tournaments and stuff all the time. So you're like, I'm sure you're like contractually obligated to do some of that stuff now, right? Like they want you to appear at some of these events and stuff, or
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely expected to do a lot of things now. At the same time, I was the first female streamer sponsored, and Pro Esports Gaming's CEO and I, like, we got to know each other enough that, like, I was like, I'm invested in this. I'm willing to help the site grow. He's willing to, when I say, hey, I want this button, he's willing to call the devs over in China and get us on a call and us stay up until 4 a.m. so that we're talking to the China department about, you know, fixing this, and we're actively, he's willing to work with me. So we actually have a verbal contract right now. But I'm expected to represent our company in pretty much all that I do, but specifically tournaments, you know, if I have the game and I can do it, I compete regardless. I don't do the Madden tournaments. Sorry guys, I'm not a football fan, right? I like a lot of things, but
I'm not.
Not
unless
football.
it's live at the stadium, like football just doesn't hold my attention. And I know it's football season for all you college fans, so I'm sorry.
No,
But yeah.
no, you're good.
Yeah.
So I pretty much do every single game besides like Madden. I've never played poker before in my life, and this past week we had a poker tournament. I actually made it to the final table.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
so much fun though. And so I've actually got most weeks we do tournaments Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. This week I just have a tournament Sunday. Yes, I have a book. I have a very detailed daily weekly
Agenda,
plan.
basically.
Yes, because if not, I forget everything. So like tonight we have the interview. Tomorrow I'm doing a team up. The next day, Wednesday, I'm doing a indie game test where the devs are going to come watch me stream. Thursday, I'm doing a co-host with a Twitch partner. We're going to be doing cash customs on pro esports gaming using the site, getting people involved in the site. Friday we have Gears 5 drop, so I'll do a special event with that. And then Saturday it's September on Twitch, so I'm doing a subathon. We're going to be playing Fortnite. I'm going to be hosting customs because I'm an epic content creator. Everybody freaking loves customs. It's actually a lot of fun. And then Sunday we have the tournament. But most weeks I do at least 2 tournaments.
September. Really? That's how they're calling it now. September.
Okay.
September on Twitch. So the way that they're doing I think it costs half of what it normally costs, but the content creator, the streamer, still gets their half. So pretty much, if you're gifting subs in someone's channel, you can gift someone a sub for $250, and instead of me only receiving half, still I just receive all of that. So pretty much Twitch, what they're doing this month is they're foregoing any revenue off of subs.
Yeah,
awesome.
But it's also being sponsored by Subway, so there's more to that. They've partnered with.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the sub comes from.
I'm not a hater like Marlon. I didn't have a problem with it.
Subscribers, so both. It's a double up. They're cute. They're clever.
Both entendre.
I like it.
I'm not a hater. Okay.
Their marketing team at work right there.
It really is though. It really is.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I think I was watching you play Black Ops the other day on Mixer, and I've watched you play Fortnite, Apex, and Black Ops. Those are the only 3 games I've seen you play. But
those are my main games.
But it was amazing, like how you can be good at all 3 of those games. I don't understand that. Like
I play all the time. I play all day long. What do you mean? Just quit your job and game all day, and I promise you can be as good as me.
Right? There's got to be like some kind of fallback between games, right? Like you play Fortnite, like for a while, you're gonna go play Apex, and you're gonna suck for a couple games, right? Like, is that how that works? Or you just like instantly,
no. Okay. For the most part, if I'm swapping to Fortnite, it only takes me a couple games. But that's because when I quit playing Destiny 2, that's the game that I mained. From the end of Season 1 on Fortnite through Season 7, that is literally the only game I streamed. The only game. And that is one way that I built my community as fast as I did, is I latched onto a very popular game, and then was consistent as hell with it. Everybody knew at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, I can click on Jaded Mermaid's name and it will be Fortnite,
Yeah.
And now I have changed my brand up a little bit. Once I got sponsored, I couldn't do that anymore. I can't do that because we don't do just Fortnite games. I'm not on a Fortnite organization team. I'm on a pro streaming team. I'm on a pro esports team for streaming in general. So I've got to be able to do it all, which does put more pressure on me, but it just means that I play more every day. Now, when I swap to Apex, it takes me probably 30 minutes to find my thumbs, all right? I still try to and then when I'll play Black Ops for 6 hours and then swap to Apex or Fortnite, or the other night I was on AA. It was last night I was on AA after I'd been on Black Ops all day, and I tried to stim shot and I threw a grenade at my teammate. I was like, it's not Black Ops. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it.
No, I know that feeling because that's happened to me. Because for me, my way of playing is that I play a lot of Destiny, but I am a Dark Souls player. So the movements and the button combinations that you play for Dark Souls are totally different from Destiny. So I'll be playing Dark Souls for 3-4 hours, then play Destiny. I'm like, why am I not running?
Yep.
Why am I not doing this? Yep. And it takes a while. It takes an hour.
Or when I'm in Apex and I'm like, auto run, damn it. Oh, wait.
That doesn't work. Or I'm
in Black Ops and I'm like, ping, 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 that's a grenade. Dang it.
And you gotta wait for the ability to load up.
There's a game or two where it's like, oh, good. I have to retrain my thumbs,
Right.
But yeah.
It's too funny.
That was another topic, because this was kind of big. When Apex first came out, you saw a lot of streamers online, relieved, right? Because all they'd been playing was Fortnite.
Yes,
Fortnite.
I dropped Fortnite like a hot potato day 1 of Apex drop and was on Apex until Season 2 drops. And then Season 2 dropped and I was like, meh. And all these cash cups started back up again. And that kid won $3 million on Fortnite,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm getting back into this shit, man. I don't know. So I recently started streaming Fortnite more, but yeah, I did. I dropped it real quick for Apex, and I do
I think a lot of people
prefer
did.
the gameplay of Apex to the Fortnite gameplay, but Fortnite has this up on everybody. Cross-plat. I can play with anybody in my stream. It doesn't matter if you're on frickin' mobile. I can play with you. And so
Right.
that really extended my reach and my community building ability a lot. So that's honestly why I mained Fortnite as much as I did, because I hate building. I've been on it since season 1, and I'm still a low ground warrior. I'm a pickaxe your builds and make you fall. You think I'm coming up there? Hell no, you come down with me.
Nah, she plays as a golfer. No, I'm gonna pick everything out, and I'm gonna get down to my level.
Yeah, I specifically carry grenades for those mob builders.
They're not to kill you. They're to make you fall.
Not doing it to me, bro. I'll box up, and that's the only building you'll see me do. Box. That's it.
That's awesome.
Man,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
No, like obviously you're heavy into competitive gaming. Are there any like single player games like that you want to play on stream, or that I obviously got Gears 5 coming out, but are you gonna do the single player campaign on stream, or are you gonna just?
I probably won't even play it unless it's necessary to my light level type thing. Like if it's something I can level up to allow me to get more gear. I've never played Gears franchise either. I'm gonna be a complete noob. But I saw the trailers and I saw they have like control multiplayer. I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm on that. So I pre-ordered it.
That's fair. So you're not really much of a single player gamer.
Nope.
See,
I can't. I get bored. I can do it for like an hour and that's it. Like even when I played Dauntless, where you can team up with random people, I was just kind of like, all right, it's been 45 minutes. I'm good. I'm golden. Can we go kill people now?
Oh,
like
kids these days.
I hate fighting against a computer. I don't know. Like
It's what's really funny
I like
is
PvP,
like your
not PvE.
Yeah.
Your mentality of like, oh, I get bored playing single player, so I play competitive. I'm kind of the opposite. I get bored playing competitive all the time, and I'd rather play like a single player story.
I get adrenaline from killing kids and then bagging them.
See, the real reason is that we're all garbage at competitive. So we just put it down and act like we're single player gamers. Like we're just like, yeah.
I mean, that's
we're single player gamers. That's it. That's the excuse.
That's the real reason.
But
I think that's
I grew up with like a Sega Genesis and then moved over to a PS1 and all that stuff. So I'm starting to show my age a little bit, but competitively I'm trash. So I just stick with my single player story. I like a good story in a game. So that's another reason I was nervous to do this episode, because you're highly competitive and we are not. So we didn't know how we'd be able to handle that. But that
totally fine.
That is
each his own, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody likes a different flavor pie. It's okay.
That's why I
think
tune
that's
into
well
your
said.
streams, because it's a different side of gaming for me. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not really up on the competitive scene, so I tune in as much as I can to check it out.
Well, I'm glad that, I'm at least entertaining enough for you to watch me just kill people over and over and over again. Maybe die over and over again. Depends on the day.
I think what at the end of the day, what sells the player is basically their attitude and just the way that they interact with the people. If you're high energy and just fun to be around with, it doesn't matter if you're not that good at PvP or you're a great PvP, but it just adds a layer to it. It's the fact that you're good at it, and the fact that you're fun, and the fact that you're just funny as hell. So that works. That just adds the whole package. So I'm like, oh Lord, can I get some of that talent, please?
And I feel like most of my community hangs around in my streams because we're friends. Like I've developed friendships with these people. I game with some of them, not all of them. Some of them really just come and watch because they're single parents or whatever, and they don't really have time to game, but they still love it, and they don't really necessarily care what I'm playing. Now, when I did my initial swap from straight Fortnite to variety with my pro esports gaming, my numbers went down like half.
Wow.
Like 50% drop. It was insane.
Makes sense.
And it does. And I just kind of had to accept that, which is also another reason now I turn off my viewers. I don't know how many people are watching me live. If you want me to know that you're there, you're going to say, hey, if you just want to lurk and creep and whatever you're doing, then go for it, man. But I keep my viewer numbers off that way because I'm tough, I feel like, but at the same time, I'm pretty sensitive. Like, I'm a people pleaser. And if I feel like I said something or did something or I'm not entertaining enough and I see 5 people leave, I'm like, oh shit, what'd I do? No, come back. Baby, come back. You know? And so I just turn it off so I don't pay attention to that because I'd rather be interacting with the people that are there and obviously want me to interact with them because they're talking to me and chatting and playing with me, you know. So
again, the whole quality versus quantity thing, you know, like you want to have the numbers, but you also want to have quality viewership that is just interacting with you and it's not like being a creep, you know, like.
Yeah. When I got sponsored, I was only averaging maybe like 10 viewers. Like, I didn't even have that many viewers. He was like, I love the way you interact with chat. I love the way you interact with your community on social media. He's like, I love the way you interact with people. I want you to represent us. And that's how I landed the sponsorship. But it's just, he liked me. Can't tell you anything else. He liked me.
It's your typical Southern girl that has just good vibes. What can I tell you? You know?
Yeah, good vibes. You can't go wrong with that, man.
You said you were the first female they sponsored?
Yes.
That's
awesome.
Crazy. That alone right there is a pretty big accomplishment, right? Like, especially, like, I don't want to say a male-dominated market, but it is for the most part.
It is.
And that kind of, like, leads me into, like, the next thing I kind of want to ask you. Like, we won't go super deep into it, but, like, the things that you have to deal with as a female streamer that, you know, a male may not have to deal with. Like, probably doesn't have to deal with. Like, the weird shit you get sent, like
creeps sliding into the DMs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that.
Okay.
Like the weird shit, like I'm sure it happens all the time.
Just
all right,
skim
you know
over,
what?
please.
Just so you guys can have a little peek into my world. Let's go through the DMs real quick.
Oh
man.
Requests. All right, this is Instagram, by the way.
In nomine Patri, Filii, Spiritus Sanctus. Help us, please.
17 requests. Okay. All right. This one. It's a response to, you know what, and I'll show you guys, but it's a response to a story, right? You know how to post a story? Okay. It says, can you return back my heart? You stole it right now.
Oh,
why
my God.
Okay. All right, no, but okay. okay.
My biggest thing with stuff like that.
I've got a better one. I've got a better one.
That's just a good pickup line.
I got a better one.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my God, Lord Almighty.
All right.
This man, he said, Ariel, question mark. And I'm going, shit, he knows my name. So I respond, who you? And he's like, oh, I thought it had to have been you because we mermaid for each other.
Oh my God.
I died for 5 days.
That guy's your husband now, right? Like,
no. See, what happened with my husband, funny story, is I played the Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun, for him, and he was so sheltered as a child, he thought I wrote it. He was like, I'm wifing her up. He really did not know. He had never heard this song before.
That's pretty awesome. Were you were you at like a local gig or something when you played it, and that's how you met him?
No, we met in college. I went to college at 16. So I was being driven around by a friend trying to introduce me to people, and we ended up at this random dude's house that was cooking some chicken crunch dinner and was gonna feed us. And I was like, all right, I got my guitar, let's go. And I show up and we're eating, and I was like, oh, I'll play some music. And I played it, and he thought I wrote it, and legit was just in awe.
So what you're telling me is that you basically got your man by playing a mandolin. Okay, fine. Leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. Swear to God. Okay, whatever. I don't. Done. I can't. I'm like, out of all the instruments, I'm at.
Marlon is visibly upset right now. For those that hear this episode later.
Yeah, you can't see him live. He's pissed.
Marlon's about to get himself a mandolin.
He's like, you mean if I'm gonna look like a little T-Rex, I'm gonna play that game.
That is awesome. But like, obviously, like those who are
pick up the girls, bro. Come on.
Those are just like
I'm okay.
weird pickup lines that someone's trying to be clever, but it obviously.
Yeah,
like,
okay. And then there are the weird ones, where it's like image protected or image covered for your protection, and I'm like, shit, I ain't opening that because I've opened it one too many times, and it has been
dick pic.
very not what I want to see. Just
Male-
not what I want.
Male genitalia.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
It's a very hairy elephant. Let's leave it like that. Okay?
Yes.
And it sucks because like, my God, I don't even know why.
What's the best is when that's the first time I ever opened one. I'm real open with my husband. Like people send me this shit and I'm like, hey, Adam, look, and this idiot, and like who sends this to someone and expects send tits? We'll send you $5. I'm sorry, what? How many times has that even worked for you, brother? Or my favorite one was when someone asked me for a picture of my butthole. Legitimately, a picture of my butthole. Not my butt, not me, not anything that would maybe be like, okay, I can see where that's cool. Or maybe someone would want that. He wants a picture of just the butthole.
Was
like,
there
what
a
if
cash offer with this one? Or?
Listen, I was so tempted to Google butthole and send it to this man.
Why didn't you?
Because I didn't want it to get screenshotted, like, of our conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, can I have your butthole? $50 for your butthole, and a picture just of me sending a butthole. You can't tell if that's mine or not.
Yeah, it'd be all over the internet.
Yeah.
Someone a picture of my butthole.
You'd be
So
on
it's just like-
CNN.
Yeah, exactly. No, it gets weird, man. It does. It
You
gets.
should have sent him a picture of your dog's butthole. That would have.
Ooh, that's good.
That would have worked. That would have
You
worked.
say that, and that's exactly what Adam said I should have done.
You should have done that. Like,
That
here
is
you go.
Awesome. We have.
It gets
like,
weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I've never had a butthole picture request. Like, that's never been a thing that I've had to worry about.
My feet, I get more requests for my feet than anything.
No,
There are a lot of foot fetish people
There
in the
really
world
are.
on
Oh my God.
Instagram trying to slide into my DMs, asking me for pictures of my feet. Go away.
Gonna
I guess
Google
that-
find out loud, man.
That'll be when we know we've made it, when someone DMs us
I'm
and
sorry.
asks us to send us a
sorry.
picture of our asshole.
You obviously
Yep,
hit
That's
like a
yeah.
sensitive.
It's like, why were you?
That's when you know.
Swear to God, man. Like, people are just disgustingly weird,
Weird.
man.
Weird.
Oh God.
That is
Like, I can't understand. Like, it's the thing, because I am a artist. I have a degree on painting and stuff like that. So, for me, the body, the way that it looks, it's just beautiful. The proportions of it. But I don't understand the whole feet thing. I don't understand the whole. It's like, why? What?
People
You got-
possibly step in dog shit with those.
Like,
Why do you want
why?
to suck my toe?
What? Nah. Eh,
What?
what?
You know I
no.
work out, right? Like, I go to the gym. I run. Come on, man.
That's
Come
like
on,
the
man.
appeal to some people, though.
That's
Like,
disgusting.
come on, man.
That's absolutely
is.
disgusting. Okay, so this podcast turned into how we think foot fetish people are.
Yeah, this.
But it's
Yeah, I was
fine.
saying, this.
Everything's
It's gone
fine.
off the
We're not
rails.
judging
This
you.
is the most
five
off the
times.
rails I
It's
think
fine.
we've. Yeah.
It's a
I think
conversation.
this is the most off the
Let's
rails
leave it
we've
like
ever
that.
been.
Yeah, for sure.
But this is
I'm
the
sorry,
thing.
if you've been to any of my streams, you know this is how it's gonna be, okay?
It's organic.
Like, look,
It's
I'm ADHD AF, so I'm like, who's seen Up? Who's seen Up? Everybody's seen Up, right?
Yeah, it's sad.
You know the dog
The-
squirrel.
Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, that
Like
kind of.
I will be in the middle of answering a question from chat, and boop, another message will pop up. Oh, and I just cut mid sentence, maybe even mid word, just stop talking and go to answering the next question. It's like, what are you doing? Because I'll go back and I'll listen to my VODs and I'll be like, well, that was rude.
Yeah. And that, like, it goes
mean
back
it.
to, like, the actual serious side of it, too. Like, I see it on Twitter all the time. That's the reason I wanted to ask you about it, because obviously you've got a bigger following, so it probably happens to you on a larger scale. But, like, I see, like, all these people we follow, like, all these women on there, they post about it all the time. It gets weird. The shit gets weird that they have to deal with. So that's why I'm glad you talked about it a little bit on here. We were able to get through it on here.
Yeah, it even got to the point where I had to get a VPN, a double VPN, for not only my PC but also my phone, because I was being harassed on one of my streaming sites, and to the point where they were making like fake accounts and they'd get banned. They make another fake account, and it wasn't like a regular fake account. It was like Jaded Mermaid the whore and stuff. Like degrading names for no reason. It's some troll, but it literally happened for like 4 or 5 weeks consistently, 5 days a week for the entire 2 hours that I was live. It was nuts. My poor mods. Thank God I have great mods, because they kept them banned and stuff. And that was still a struggle to like look down and see someone say like kill yourself. Like, what? You don't do that to people regardless. So I actually reported it up the chain and got the company to put a ban list of words. They can't go into anybody's chat now and tell some girl who may not have been bullied as a high schooler like I was, that has never been through anything, doesn't have any tough skin, right? Is more, maybe they're even depressed. They can't go in there and say that crap to them now because I stood up for it. So I feel good about, standing up for the fact that you can't do that shit.
Right.
You can't do that shit. So it more bothered me on the fact that people were willing to, it's nuts to see the lengths people are willing to go to just to try to make someone uncomfortable or miserable even. It's insane. Right. It's insane. It's insane. And the bigger I get, the more I've come into that. I got catfished. I thought it was a girl. Became good friends with her. I'm picky with females. And guess what? It turned out to be a guy. So
Jesus.
What the fuck?
And apparently, this person is in the States and will be at TwitchCon as well, which I'm going to. So one reason my husband goes with me everywhere, he's like my personal bodyguard. He did Ironman competitions. He'll mess them up if they come at me, bro.
Kill him.
We need to have him on the show sometime too.
Yeah, there you go. What it's like to be married to Jaded Mermaid.
That's gonna be the show.
What is like married to a very successful streamer who's very talented and has all the talent in the world? How does that make you feel uncomfortable at times? He's like, I'm used to it. Just cool.
That's awesome. Dude's a beast though, from what she just said though. So I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
But God damn this fucking episode. This was awesome for sure.
I know for a fact right now that a bunch of my people are wherever you are right now, because my Discord is going nuts about our interview.
Is that?
It's just like ping, 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 ping.
They're probably talking shit. Like, I can't believe you did that show with those idiots.
Idiots. It's like, why does he have like freaking sunglasses in the middle of the night? It's like,
I didn't realize that. That's a good question,
Marlon. Out.
Oh, that's great.
Come on, just let him rock the Labor Day vibe off, all right? Come on.
I had no idea.
All right, you know what? No, he had to get you back for messing with him about his flapjacks, though. That's what's happening. That's
true. Okay. I apologize, though, because I knew he was going through that hurricane.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, about the flapjacks. So I go to Publix.
It's not like a mental, it's not like a disease.
Here's the thing.
I'm sorry, man. You're going through the hurricane.
So I go to Publix. I'm looking for something to make for the breakfast. I'm like, you know what? There's this buck for flapjacks and waffles. Let me get that. I haven't had a good one in a while now. I go in there, start making them, and I'm like, these things are big. Okay. I haven't eaten, and we're talking like thick, like probably half an inch thick flapjacks, and I'm like, okay. This is gonna last me.
That big? If they're that, is that considered?
Yeah.
That's thick. That's
thick. So like, okay, this is gonna be a very good breakfast for the next 5 days. That's basically.
Oh my gosh.
But before we end the show, I definitely want to talk a little bit. Like, you got your own merchandise now. You've got your own website. You've got your own trademarks. All that. There's a ton of work goes into that. Like, we've looked into trademarking our stuff. So.
It's expensive.
Oh, I bet. Like. Oh my God, like, do you sell?
That's where all my sponsorship stuff went to. Was setting up my LLC, doing trademarks through the State Department, creating a website. The website is a monthly subscription where you can purchase it by the year. I did yearly, so it saved me a little bit of money in the long run. Anything that you can do, like if like y'all are going for this is something y'all are planning on continuing to do. Like, if it gives you the option of, hey, buy the subscription for a year, do it, because it saves you money overall, and I'm pretty careful about that too. But yeah, it costs a lot of money to get done what I've done. And at the website I actually designed and managed myself, and that I can accredit to a master's class that I took. It was like technology integration or something, and I got my master's in education. I went to school to teach, and I've ended up using a lot of the classes for like my streaming and stuff. It's kind of funny.
That's
Very
awesome. What grade did you teach, or like what like level?
I taught my first year teaching. I was only 21 because I graduated with my undergrad at 20 and started my master's at 21. And so I started teaching alongside in my master's program, and I taught seniors. And I was at an alternative private school, and they were at least 18, if not 19 and 20. So I was literally like a year to a year and a half older than my students, and it was really weird.
I bet it
So
was.
I went to teach. Like I had to report so many things. Like, all right, this dude said this to me. I had nothing to do with it. He said it to me. I'm just letting you know. He told me I look thick in the dress. I know that's not okay, so I'm reporting it. And I was like, all right, I gotta go to middle school. I gotta go teach 12-year-olds, man. I gotta teach. And honestly, the 12-year-olds were kind of worse.
I can imagine
Well,
that.
they're at
you know,
that
like-
stage, right? Like,
At that
yeah.
stage, they don't know any better, quote
No,
unquote.
they say all types of things.
oh, for sure.
Kids say the darndest things for sure. That's an
Right.
honest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
honest.
that's an honest truth right there.
But I did love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely loved teaching. For the reason I used to teach music. I've always enjoyed helping others learn. So I enjoyed the whole like reaching young minds aspect. I didn't necessarily like the whole like lesson plans and after work staff meetings and all this other stuff, but actually teaching the kids I loved. And it's what I will go back to eventually if I plateau or whatever reason. I've got my teaching license to fall back on, and I totally would go back to teaching later in life. But right now, while I don't have kids, I have sponsors, I have the means to do it, I have the support to do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it hard.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
There you go.
Totally respect that. So, real quick, before we close out the episode, go ahead and plug all your channels where everyone can find you. Obviously, the people that are going to listen to this already follow you probably everywhere, but
Cool.
feel free to
It's like
plug
a
all
school
your
of fish.
sponsors, everybody. Like do it like NASCAR
Right?
style.
That's-
Okay, well, I'm on Mixer and Twitch /Jaded Mermaid, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Jaded Mermaid TTV. That's me on all platforms. ProEsportsGaming.com. If you are a gamer, you really actually should check it out. Like, I'm not just saying that because they're my sponsor. They're freaking dope. I use the site all the time. If you play Fortnite, come swing by stream sometime when we're doing the cash customs, win a little bit of money, and use the site. I know my sponsor, headhunts through the site as well if you are a streamer possibly looking for sponsorship in the future. So use the website. That's the biggest thing, using the website, proesportsgaming.com. And then I'm also recently partnered with Destined to Dominate. It's an awesome energy drink. It's all B vitamins and like 150 milligrams of caffeine. I'm a pretty big health nut. I don't like a lot of this stuff that you don't know what the ingredients are.
Yep.
So I really, really like Power On by Destined to Dominate, and they are my new partnership. I've been approached by multiple energy drink companies, and I've tried them. I've got them for free, and some of them tasted really good, but they either made me shaky because they had too much caffeine, or there were, ingredients like aspartame and stuff that's not good for you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, though. I mean, I have a few other sponsorships that are through, or not sponsorships, partnerships that are through Twitch, like Pixels Gaming, and then I'm partnered with Sup Streamers. Y'all know who that is? It's like a big streaming organization on Twitter.
Yep, I've heard of that before.
And they're pretty awesome. They help smaller streamers and whatnot. So, yeah, the rest of everything's on my website, though, jadedmermaid.com. The sponsors have their nice little tab with all of the information, any discount codes that I might have, and all that good stuff. Merch is also on the website. Everything's on the website. Schedule, pictures, links, everything.
Nice. We'll have to get
JadedMermaid.com. That's
t-shirts.
all you need.
That's
Yeah,
all
there
you-
you go.
That's all you need under the sea, especially here from Miami.
Hey.
Oh wow, that was bad.
That
I know,
was good.
that's
I
what-
like that.
It was hard. I mean,
Yeah, taking me back
It
to my.
wasn't worse than we mermaid for each other, so he can
Okay, I'll take
also
that.
true. You are not wrong there.
Yeah,
But thank you for being here. I had a blast.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it was
a-
really good meeting
very-
you guys. Y'all are super fun,
Yep.
yeah,
laid
but-
back. I like it.
These
Thank,
guys-
Yeah.
thank you. Like we enjoy any positive feedback we get. For
Yes,
sure.
appreciate it.
Like I said,
But,
I was nervous for the show, but it ended up being probably one of my
No,
favorite
you-
episodes.
Yeah,
I totally
definitely a
like
fun
kept up
time.
with all the randomness that came out of my mouth and didn't even blink, man. And you're a professional.
Here we go.
There you go.
We're professionals now.
There
You
go.
heard it. You heard it from her. So that's,
Yep. But again, thank you. And then next, we'll be back next week. I'm not sure what next week's show is going to be in store, so you'll just have to kind of stay tuned and find out. And we will see you here next week on the AEG show.
Awesome.
There we go.
All right.